All right, and I'm gonna flip over to Facebook real quick, make sure that puppy goes through. And, come on.
See us.
All right, so there we are. Okay, saw the preview. We're good to go. All right, let's get this thing started. While people start slowly filtering in, just quickly do a introduction. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Chatgram Live. And this is your first time attending? Awesome. Welcome. Happy to have you on. Especially the guest, first time attending.
Oh, I think I see Monica.
Yeah, hopefully that's her. It's sometimes what happens is because it's broadcasting, it's picking up the stuff that the action from the stuff we've been promoting for the last week.
Oh, yeah.
So I might be picking up some of that. But if Monica's there, hey, Monica. If not, what the hell, Monica?
Come on, Monica.
But welcome to the show, everyone. Quick overview of Chatgram Live. This is now the second month of Chatgram Live. It used to be just Chatgram, which was a weekly Twitter chat. But thanks to Twitter and its wonderful whatever the hell it was doing with the hashtag, that was blocking almost everyone. So we moved this to a live format, which is I'm enjoying it, and hopefully y'all are. And it's also, we've reduced it. It's no longer weekly. It's the first and third Tuesday of each month, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. We're trying to find that sweet time spot. It's hard in getting everyone. But also, we do have a Chatgram support Facebook group. So this is where you can keep up to date with what's going on with Chatgram, latest Instagram news, and boy, there's been a lot of news the last few months. And they've been keeping me busy.
Yes. I'm just glad that my book is done because I hate when they changes when I'm starting to write it and it's like, stop making changes.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to keep a tally. Like, all right, which is still correct in the book?
Yeah.
And it's a free spot to post your questions about Instagram if you need help on things, and post ask your questions, and people will chime in with answers. So let's just jump in and let's meet our guest. I'd like to welcome Corey to the show. We have Aaron. Hello, hey Aaron, welcome. Corey is marketing. Let me just read your quick bio. Try to turn on the professional voice. Corey is has been in the marketing communications field for over 20 years, working both in-house and in corporate marketing. And for the past 13 years is in her own marketing firm, a marketing specialist. Corey works with many clients on social media strategy, management, ad campaigns, and analytics. Most recently, she's co-author of Instagram for Business for Dummies. And she is a lifelong learner, and so having a career in social media is perfect for it. And boy, is it.
It's been fun. It's a good ride.
So welcome, Corey. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And also, for everyone watching, at the end of the show, I'll be dropping the link to the book so y'all can get it at Amazon. And then I have to, I'll go dig up the Barnes & Noble link as well, for those Barnes & Noble shoppers. And then also at the end of the show, I'll be dropping the link for the Facebook group. So if you're not in it, that way y'all can join. There's Christina. Hey, Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Christina's got a 4-month-old, and so hopefully Xavier's also watching and learning.
Yes.
So I guess let's just jump into things if you're ready. The thing I constantly get asked is, why should someone switch from a personal profile to a business profile? I know why, but let's hear from the expert.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and people ask me that, and people get scared about, if I change from the business or from personal to business, and it's going to ruin my engagement. And we haven't found any of that to be true. And we can talk a little bit more about that later. But there are a lot of benefits. And so one of the benefits is now you get all these extra little buttons at the top. So as you know, that you really only have one link, but now you're going to have links to call, email. I just saw one for text, which I didn't know that they had that, but now they have one for text. Get directions, and I think they're rolling out like a shop button. So that offers you a lot more ways for people to get in touch with you, and that keeps that, your one link for just exactly where you want people to go on the web versus saving it for one of those things. Also, really helpful, and we'll dive into this a little bit later too, is the analytics. So as soon as you have a business profile, you get access to all those great analytics, which if you look at them, you can get a lot of information that's really going to inform you and help you with your content and figure out what's working, what's not, see who your audience is, see if you're hitting the right people, see what your reach is, all of that. It's really great. You can also run ads. So if you have a personal account, you don't have access to running any types of ads. So that business account is going to let you do that. And then one other thing that people may or may not care about is you can then access the page through your Facebook business page. You can manage all your comments through there. So some people like to do that via desktop, just have it all in one place. So those are some of the top benefits that I like and I think are worth it if you're really going to use it for your business.
Yeah, because the text option, I think, I've had it for probably about 6 months or so, because I tend to prefer that option just because a lot of times it's just I have to let things go to voicemail anyway. So at least when you have a text message, they just ping my phone, and then that way I can respond back when I can. And
Yeah, I hate voicemail.
It's voicemail. I'm like, because that's all it is. I screen everything. It's like if I don't recognize that number, it's.
No, I know. And now I have the voicemail where it shows you, like, it does a little transcript of it.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I need to see if I can get that.
Yeah, it just appeared on my phone one day, and I love it because now I don't even have to listen to it. It's so horrible, but I can just read what they said and decide, okay, do I need to act on this, or is this some weird sales call or whatever?
Yeah, because most of the stuff is just it's like is the old straight up just where they get the voicemail and they hang up. So I'm like, that's when it's like I screen everything. It's like if your number ain't programmed into my contact list, it's. So it's like, at least with text messaging, that way, I can see what they're texting, see what they want, and it's legitimate. But it's also the newest edition, I'm liking is the action button, I think what they're calling it, where you can get because I have it set up for with Eventbrite for get tickets, it gets for Media Day. So so it kind of gives you sort of an extra link button.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, since there's just the one, it's not any extras you can get.
It's like kind of make do with the with Linktree. At least give you a little bit of more options. But it's if you don't with that one link option, and then plus like you say with Instagram stories, you got to have the 10,000 followers to get the swipe up feature. I'm like about 9,000 and something followers away from getting it.
Yeah. I know that's a hard number to get. I'm not at that number, so yeah.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, kind of a little off topic, but it's just the reason I absolutely hate that they did that is it kind of rewards that whole must have followers.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, and that someone could go buy a bunch of followers and qualify for that. So I don't like it either.
Yeah, because I think this morning I reported a spam account that that was a Russian spam account, and but they already had 10,000 followers. I'm like looking at them like there is no way they have 10,000 followers.
And they have 2 posts. That's what I love.
I think it was like 15
in the last week.
Yeah, it was like 15 posts, and it was the same graphic. I mean, but it was all in Russian. It was just
fake.
But I guess it's also one of the things I also have the way like working with some clients is since they're kind of like that personal brand, should they or shouldn't should they go ahead and bump up to business profile or keep it at personal? Some there's like one client we went ahead and kept as personal just because they're kind of borderline, but love to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I think it's still worth bumping up. Like I said, some people get scared, like, oh, my engagement's going to go down. But I'll tell you, like, my co-author, Jen Herman, she does tests with a lot of people, and they found no difference. I haven't found any difference because mine was originally a personal profile. And I haven't found a difference. I think it's definitely worth, even if it's, slightly borderline, I still think it's worth it because just the insights alone are so helpful if you dive into them a bit to see what's working for you. So if she's using it in any capacity that's, headed towards sales or promotion of services, things like that, then I definitely think it's worth the switch.
Yeah, actually, this is going to kind of dive into the next question about what are requirements to switch to business profile. The reason I haven't been able to fully persuade them to switch to the business profile is we unfortunately still have not created a Facebook page for them because they're unfortunately it's a new person and they're scared with the whole the privacy data breach.
Oh yeah.
So I'm having to warm them up.
Yeah. So as far as requirements go, you do need to have a Facebook business page. So that sometimes does trip people up if they, like you said, don't want to do that. But I've created pages for people that they never really use the page.
Yeah.
They just, put it out there and then they don't direct anyone towards it and they don't post anything on it. It's just solely to have their Instagram business account. So that is a possibility if people really are, not wanting to do the business page because they feel like they don't want to post it. Like I have a friend who she's really active. She's got a Facebook group that she uses, but she's like, oh, I don't want a business page. I don't want another thing. I'm like, well, let's just build it to keep it really simple. You don't have to post to it and we'll just use it so you can access your business account on Instagram. Yeah. And that's what she does. So, I wouldn't let that, stop you from doing that. And it's super easy, as you know, to set up, both the Facebook page, but also just setting up the Instagram business account. I mean, it's like tapping a few things on your phone, going under settings, switch to business account, and then they prompt you a few things and you're done. So it's not like this big, huge process that people need to worry about.
Like I joke with people, it's like, my dog's Instagram account, it's a business profile. And, I created a Facebook page for them. And it's like, basically all I do is just move the Instagram post over to the Facebook page. I mean, but it's like, but that way, I keep having dreams of trying to tapping into the dog influencer market, but it's been a little more work than I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, I have a hamster, and we've thought about doing some fun hamster things because she actually has a car. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but my hamster has a car that she can drive.
I need to look that up.
So I will send you video later. I think I did it as an Instagram story, so it's it's off in the ether now. But yes, so she's pretty cool, and she's pretty fun to watch stuff like everything in her cheeks. So anyway,
Tammy just said, I just switched my cat's Instagram account over from personal to business, and it lets me do it with with the Facebook page. So.
Well, I'll have to look at that because that had always been a requirement before. But
I wonder with some of the API changes they did something or
maybe I'll have to. Well, thank you. I'll have to test that because it used to always make you do that. But that might encourage more people to switch over without that. I will say the only problem with that is if you are trying to run ads.
Yeah.
You won't be able to, I don't think you'll be able to run ads because they usually funnel the credit card through your Facebook business page. And then a lot of the ads you can't run straight through Instagram. So like if you're trying to do a carousel post or a stories post, those you have to go through the ads manager to do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, with the ads, it's probably the problematic area. But if you can maybe do a straight up switch to a business account profile and then at least unlock some of the contact, some of the other bells and whistles.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, thank you. We'll have to look at that and find out.
Now she just sent these marketers into going mode.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so we pretty much covered what are the benefits of having a business profile. It's basically, I think the benefits outweigh everything else, and especially the whole is it going to hurt engagement? Which like I've told people, I have not seen any hurt. It's like because I use my account as an example of basically when it was just personal, because that was the only option. It was also before then I said between personal and then the algorithm, the installment of the algorithm and all that. My engagement has been between 4 to 6 the entire time for the last like 4 years. So it's like nothing's that's like, I mean, I was like, especially like say like for some of the newer accounts, you can create since it's straight up business profile from day one. So I'm like, it's not gonna hurt anything because it's brand spanking new. It's
Right. You don't know what it was before, so.
It's like I've seen a couple things like say where there might be a little dip like the first week or two, but then it's just once it is, I just kind of contribute to it. Maybe that things need to be recalibrated a little bit, but once
I think sometimes it needs to kind of right itself, and so I would say if that happens, just stay the course for a couple weeks, and it should level out. So
just like with anything with social media, you just got to ride it out. So I guess, now that we've kind of gone over this, it's just sort of like kind of dip into before a business brand, etc., starts posting to Instagram, the old what do they need to know and have in place? Because usually quite a bit of a checklist to go through at times, depending on the account.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use this truly for your brand, you should have some branding in place. So like a sense of your aesthetic. So are there certain colors that you use? Do you have a logo that you're pulling colors from? Separate fonts. So if you're going to do any kind of text overlays, it's better not to have, 10 different fonts going on. Try and stick to just a couple fonts. Are you going to only use certain filters? So some people really achieve a cohesive look by always using Mayfair or whatever, always using a certain filter, so that even if the photos are kind of slightly different, just the lighting on it makes it cohesive. You should also have an idea of who your target audience is and try and talk to that audience. And what I like to say is if you can choose kind of your one avatar. So if you're, like I do a lot of healthcare marketing. So our key person, if we had to choose one person, would be, a mom, maybe, 42 years old. She's got kids that would still go to pediatrics. She's got parents that are starting to get older and might go to orthopedics. Maybe she works, so we have kind of that person in mind of who our perfect person is. And then we try to tailor our message to that person. So if you can kind of think in terms of that instead of trying to be everything to everybody, I think that's helpful. Also your tone of voice. So sometimes an account will have several people contributing to it, but even if you have several contributors, it should have a voice that kind of carries through, so it doesn't sound like it's coming from 10 different people.
Yeah. Because like one of the things I do is like say like with my account, I always start off like with hey Insta peeps, but then then I also work with nonprofit, professional nonprofits, and it's basically it's like make sure like the green's always the same, that way kind of it's sort of a human singular voice. It's
Also, what type of content is going to resonate with your target audience? Are they more into video? Do they like static images? Do they like just, beautiful pictures, or do they really like the funky, text overlays and things like that? And then how will you be creating your content? Are you going to create all these things on your own, take your own photos, or are you going to be curating a lot of content, so using, things from other accounts and always crediting back? So think about how you're actually going to get this content and what kind of schedule you're going to be on. Are you going to be posting daily, a few times a week? That all those things are really helpful to get started, and they're just good to know ahead of time before you just go out there and throw stuff at the wall.
Yeah, there's also, like, I tell, people is that, sometimes there's a lot of A/B testing you got to do, because it's like one of the things I've learned with my audience, with my account, is when it comes to newsfeed posts, they do not like video of me. They'll like video of me, say, in Instagram stories. But when it comes to newsfeed, it's basically, if I post a video of, say, like me talking like right now, that post is going to fall flat. And so it's like, I've learned that. So like, but then I also know, though, say, like, if I do, like, say, sort of still mode, sort of a graphic, but with moving text or something, that type of video will resonate with people. But it's just, it's
definitely good. And that's one of the things, that analytics is so great to look at, because you wouldn't know that unless you looked at the data and, said, oh, well, 10 people like this, but 100 people like this. So obviously you want to go with the 100 and keep doing that.
Yeah, it's like, or I can see, like, okay, this video got viewed 200 times, but only got liked 25. So what's up?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, so it's like, so I'm like, that's what I've learned with my audience, and then actually a couple other accounts I've learned is it's just video in the news feed does not work, but but news, say, video from in Instagram stories or Instagram lives, people love that type of video. But it's just
just know your audience and know what they like. So
so actually, I'm kind of, is it Chuck? Chuck asked, stories versus highlights versus posts, all equally important for business marketing. Even though we haven't quite jumped into Instagram stories and all that, but kind of touches a little bit with what we're talking about.
Yeah. So hi, Chuck. I know Chuck. So stories versus highlights versus posts. I think they are all important. So I like to think of, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but, with the regular posts, a lot of times people will try and make them look, super perfect and nice and present your best self on the posts, which is fine. What I like about stories, because I'm a little bit more like fly by the seat of my pants, and I like to show kind of more my real self and a little bit more about maybe my family or my pets, because at this point we have 7 animals at our house. Yes, because, well, it just topped to 7 because I'm bunny sitting right now. So anyway, that aside, so I think they are important, because one shows, your kind of perfect front is the posts, and then the stories are great for showing a little bit more of the behind the scenes and who you really are, which I think is really important too. The highlights are great, and I don't know that they're as important. They're becoming more popular, definitely, and it's good. I mean, it's good to have them, and I'm not as sold yet on the highlights, but I do like them.
Yeah, I think it's more like, say, like the first impression when someone's looking at your account, maybe, because they're going to be more inclined to, go, click the button and see what the highlight's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
and it's nice because you can categorize it and, put all, like, I have one, it's not business related, but because my daughter plays volleyball. So I have one that's just all her volleyball tournaments and things like that. And that just kind of shows this other side of me that is not totally all business. So
yeah, it's like, say, like, kind of one of mine is like, the Zoe and Toby show, which is my dogs. That one, there'll be stories with them in it. There's also, like, say, like one for Chatgram Live. So that way people can see, like, what past topics have been talked about. There's just, various other ones, like, like stuff around Houston or, just fun. I think I just have one that's called fun. But there's also, there's other, like, social media tip ones and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, there are some stories that I'm like, before they had the highlights, it was just like, oh, it's going to go away and no one will see that anymore. And I really like that, so it is nice to have a way to still showcase it. So
yeah. But yeah, I think it's just, I think the only purpose I really see it with highlights is just, it's just that first impression. Other than that, it's like most people just don't go to your profile just on the whim, to check out your highlights.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, most people go more to the profile the very first time they're checking you out, and then they don't do that as much anymore. So
yeah. I mean, the only time they'll probably see your highlights is, say, like when you're doing a link in bio type of post, and you're trying to tell people to go to your profile. But yeah. Yeah, I think we covered that, and then let's see. I guess kind of jump in a little bit with how can business brands and all that use Instagram stories and live. So kind of dive into that area a little bit now.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I like it as kind of the grittier side. So some different ways that I see people using Instagram stories are more like you do this a lot, and I should be better about it, but just talking to the camera and talking about what happened with your day or something frustrating like your computer dying or whatever.
Or the inevitable Windows update yesterday.
Yeah. So I need to get better about that. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's because I work from home and my hair's in a ponytail and I'm like just from the gym. So I don't really feel camera ready. But
I'm a hair person, so it's like, I'll be like, okay. But, I do have the luxury of just putting on a baseball, cap.
Yeah. So some of it's that. But anyway, that's a really good way to connect directly with your audience. I really like it. I have a friend who's a stager, like a home, stager. And so she does a lot of like before and afters. Those are really fun to show. And you can do that for, any type of project, or hairstylists can use it. I mean, you can use that in the carousel. She does it in the carousel as well. But if you just want to do like a quick thing, it's fun to do that. Behind the scenes. So like I said, you've got all your perfect, pretty posts in your regular feed. Maybe you're doing an event and you show like one cool event shot of everything set up. But then in your stories, you could be like, oh, well, here I am, blowing up balloons, and here I am running around, putting silverware on the table or whatever, just to show all the steps that it took to get there. So I think those are kind of fun and show exactly how much work was put into something. A lot of people will use it, like if you do a lot of business travel. Like I know, Brian Fanzo, he's like a traveling fool, and it's a lot of his stories are like, okay, I'm on my flight to, Scotland or whatever. So that's kind of interesting because most of us, don't travel like that. So he uses it in that way. You can run ads in stories. So that is the one workaround. If you don't have those 10,000 followers and can't get the swipe up, you can do an ad, and you don't pay for it, but you could even just do a few bucks if you're really trying to promote something that you want people to be able to get to.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can rock the hell out of like $5 with with an ad.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, so that could definitely be worth it if you have something that you really want to promote within stories, but you don't have that swipe up feature. And that one, unfortunately, you do have to schedule through Facebook Ad Manager. There's not a way to do it on the app itself. So that kind of can trip up people a little bit because it's not like simple like it is in the app. But it's all detailed in the book, step by step, if you want to know how to do it.
Yeah, the book, people. Let's see if I.
There it is.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't do the mirror effect. I haven't tested that yet on with this.
I think it was right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was because I know sometimes it'll show you correct here, but then on the other end there'll be the mirror effect. And that mirror effect just drives me nuts. I'm like,
And then just talking about Instagram Live, that's a great one. I mean, just like you're doing now, you could do, like I've done dual casts before for my clients, where I'm on a Facebook Live, and then I just have a tripod, and I'm doing an Instagram Live as well. But I know a few people, like Jen Herman does a like every other week, just regular show just to check in with her viewers. And that's a great thing. Like if you're some kind of industry expert or anything that you want to just check in regularly and people start to know. I mean, just like this Chatgram Live, you have a set time so people know, okay, if I check in at this time, then I'm going to learn something new about, social media. So that's a great way to do it. Also, if you are doing an event and you want to just live the event, or if you're at a concert or anything like that, Instagram Live can be really fun for that as well. I've seen people do like DIY, if they're working on some kind of project, do it as a live, or they can do it step by step. I've got a friend that makes these amazing cookies, and she'll show you like the blank cookie, and then she'll show you some of the icing, and so it's kind of fun to do it step by step like that. So those are my ideas.
It's like, so then it's sort of like going a little broader, besides posting content to newsfeed stories and doing lives, what are other things we can do to grow our accounts?
Well, so obviously engagement is key. So you're going to need to not just worry about what content you're posting, but you need to go out on other accounts and really, if you want to be successful, it has to be kind of a daily thing that you block on your calendar. And you go out, and not just likes, because I'll tell you, I'll get likes on my post and it's like, okay, yeah, I got a like, but I don't necessarily pay attention to each individual person that liked it. But if I get a comment, I will comment back, and it like jogs in my mind like, oh, well, they bothered to comment. So I might go over to their profile if I don't know who they are and check them out. So definitely I would say put an emphasis on commenting, not just liking, and just make some time in your schedule to do that. And other ways that you can, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because like one of the things I do would tell people is just schedule, say, 3 times a day, 15-minute block. Just go in an Instagram and comment and but comment on posts.
Yes, commenting is key. So for sure. Another thing is just kind of going old school, but use your Instagram logo on anything that you have printed on your website. Make sure you're linked back. So just make sure everywhere you are that you could possibly put it. If you still do business cards, I know it's like total old school, but people still collect business cards and exchange them. So just make sure anything that you have printed that's informational about you also includes that link. And then like on your website, you can do the whole Instagram feed within your website so people can see it there. So those are just a few other things that you can do.
I guess, kind of, tie a little bit more into that is just driving traffic from Instagram to website, best tactics to use. Because, that's one of the things I get asked a lot, is just, but, especially with just having the one link, is, how do you getting traffic from Instagram to site?
Okay. Well, so using that one link, if you're just going to use that one instead of using like Linktree or Gallery Metrics. So just for those who are unaware, so Linktree allows you to have a landing page, and that's what you have. If you want an example, just go to Ken's page because he has a Linktree set up, and then it goes to a landing page, and then he has several other links that branch out from there.
I always do warn people, mine's a little more fancier because it is the paid version, but the free version is just as good. It's just I happen to like it, especially with Chatgram, live. It's just I'm able to do set timetables for each one. So for today's one, I tell it to expire like in 2 weeks. That way I can still drive traffic to the replay. But
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. So Linktree or then Gallery Metrics is a little bit different. Have you seen that before, Gallery Metrics?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, so that one is kind of cool because it
Write that
it
down.
replicates your feed. So you put a link in there, and it'll be like gallerymetrics.com/ whatever. And then you tell it which posts you want to be in there. But when you click on it, you see, say 20 posts, and each of those posts then have a link allowable on the post. So it's kind of cool. I had it set up I had a client that did different, they had like all these little keychains and tchotchkes and things like that. And so they wanted, a link to each product, and they couldn't keep changing out that one because, people go back and look at things and then it's the wrong item. So that worked really well for them, because then I would just say, okay, go to the link in bio and then find it in that gallery, and then it would go straight in there. So it's unfortunate. I mean, I wish they did allow the links, but they have their reasons. They want to keep it pure.
Yeah.
So
because one of the things that drives me nuts is when I see people post links, the full links in the caption. I'm like, there's no way to grab that, people.
I know. So yeah, I mean, if you are going to do that, at least give them some kind of like personalized Bitly link that's like, you can remember it and just type it in. But yeah, if it's like 20 characters long, it's like, that's no one's going there.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can even copy and paste it.
Yeah, you can tell, like, say, like, as a post that they created, say, but then it's like, it's it's probably going out to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's but it's the link, but it's like, oh, people, no, there's no way to grab that. I mean, that's like that's like a 50 circle long link.
Shouted everywhere, and who cares if it's right or not. So the other thing, I don't know if I said this, but make sure that when you are doing your post, you have a strong call to action to that link in bio if it's something that you want to drive people to on your website or another website. And then if there's something that you really want them to go to on a limited time basis, you can set it up as an ad. And then that way you don't have to direct them to the link in the bio. It'll be right on the ad, and it'll say, like, learn more, click here, all of that. So that is a good way if you want people to go directly to a link and you really want to make sure it's easy for them to find and get to. Just do an ad for a couple bucks. And
I mean, that's something I tell people, ads don't have to be hundreds of dollars. It's just, you can put $5 into it and run it for 5 days or whatever, and
I do little one. Well, actually, I did one for this. I just put like $5 on one just to give it a little, kick in the pants.
And I thank you for that. It's because unfortunately Facebook did not approve my ad for this for some reason, and Facebook, but other way.
If you have too much text, well, they don't really turn it away too much.
All I kept getting was it was just denying it, and I was like, I could not get an explanation of why the denial. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here, people? That
Facebook, she's finicky.
I was like, no, kind of call her name out. I was kind of having a Christina episode because she is notorious for having issues with Facebook ads. I mean, it's like almost like something like, at least once a month she'll be like, Facebook, because they denied something.
They don't always make things easy for you.
Nah.
And then there's no one to help.
But there's also, kind of goes back, going into the next thing, and kind of question lined up is, breakdown of Instagram ads. Where do the ads appear? What kind of Instagram ads are there? What are some Instagram ad don'ts? Because I've been seeing a lot of them, especially the whole where they promote their posts and does learn more by going to profile, but it's like a crappy post. And it's also, I'm like, but I'm already following you. Why am I gonna?
Okay, so ads can be in the main feed on your posts, and they can be just on a regular post or an image or a video. You can also do an ad on a carousel, but you have to schedule that one through Facebook Ads Manager. And then you can do them on stories, but again, that needs to be through Facebook Ads Manager. So some don'ts, well, like you said, don't use a crappy image or really low quality video, because it's like, well, why do I want to go there if you can't even, say like, so if I'm selling social media marketing services and I have a really crappy, post up there, it's like, well, obviously you can't even market yourself. Why would I want you to market me? So definitely make sure that you have a really good image or video that's super enticing, super eye-catching, clear, not pixely. So that's super important. Don't forget a call to action. Make sure it's something, that really encourages them to click. And then finally, don't forget to watch the comments that come in and make sure that you're responding to them, because that could be a potential customer. Maybe they're saying, if it's, boutique, oh, do you have that shirt in a size small? Well, if you don't respond, that's a sale that just sailed right out the window because you're not looking and paying attention. So that is a huge one, is make sure that you're, watching those notifications and responding as soon as possible. I think that's it.
We did a good job of covering ads in the other areas too. So okay. We mentioned a few tools, but so what are some of your favorite tools or apps to use for Instagram? Because I'm a tools and app nerd, so I'm always testing stuff.
Okay, so Canva is probably my number one. If I'm looking for an image, and then I also want to do like some kind of text overlay or filtered overlay, building things, I like Canva. I have the whole Adobe suite. I have like InDesign, I have Illustrator. I can do all that, but I can do it in like 5 minutes on Canva versus, a half an hour in something else.
Like one action takes 20 clicks on Adobe.
So I really like that, I can not only find my image right there, but, put something over it and maybe it'll cost me $1, so I love that. Adobe Spark is another one, or maybe it's just Spark Post now. They keep changing.
Name change lately or something, or
so just look up Spark because it's in there. So that one's really similar to Canva, so I like that. I used to use WordSwag, but I kind of have shifted away from that. I don't do as many text overlay posts as I used to. I'm heading more towards images. So that's one if you like to do more text-based stuff. And then Planoly, I like. If you're trying to do like just Instagram, I know you've scheduled some of your stuff. Is that what you use like exclusively, or?
Planoly is probably my number one. Because I basically my two Instagram management tools are Agora Pulse, and then Planoly is basically Agora for the analytics. But I use Planoly just because I like the grid layout, and basically Agora doesn't have the grid layout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like Planoly when I'm like really diving deep into Instagram and really like planning stuff out for, if I'm trying to do a few weeks out. I really like Planoly because they have the grids. You can see how it's all going to flow together. Thank you. Rebecca says Spark Post. I knew it was, it was Adobe Spark, but I think it did change to Spark Post.
It's like apparently Be Live was not updating comments because all of a sudden I just saw all these comments come through.
Well, we can read them at the end and go back if we need to. So let's see, what was I saying now?
Sorry.
I lost it. Someone in the comments, remind me, what was I talking about?
I'm trying to. I think we both just totally blinked out.
I know what it was. I was talking about Planoly.
Planoly.
Yeah. So what I also like about Planoly is when I'm searching for images, I can search by a hashtag, and then it'll bring up, all these images that fit within that hashtag. So sometimes, my feed has a lot of pink and blue. Those are kind of my colors that I use. So sometimes I'll literally just put, hashtag pink and then see what comes up and see if it works. So that's another thing that I like about it. So I use that. I also, because I do post on other accounts, mine and other client accounts, I like Hootsuite. My one new client, have you heard of Sprinkler?
I've heard of it.
It's kind of a funny name. So I think it's more used in big like enterprise.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's mostly used for like the big brands, like yeah.
Yeah, so because I do a lot for Dignity Health, so so we're now using Sprinkler, and at first I just absolutely was like, I hate it, but now that I'm using it more, I'm like, ooh, I kind of like it, but I don't think it's available, for like one-off. I think it's more, you have to be.
Yeah, I've heard it can be a little pricey, and yeah, that's why I heard it's mostly geared for the big brands. Yeah,
I think it is. It's very complex. There's parts of it that I don't even want to dive into, but I went to a 2-day training on it. But it's cool. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. So.
Yeah, I'm also cracking up because Monica was screaming at us, when we couldn't figure out what we were talking about. She's like, tools.
Tools! Thank you, Monica, for keeping us on track, because my mind is sometimes I have the memory of like a flea. It's just like. So
yeah, that's like one of the reasons why I don't do the dual cast is because I have really bad ADD, and I'm like, there is no way I can do multiples. I'll be like,
yeah, you're just like,
I'm like, where am I? And Rebecca actually, she chimed in Snapseed. I mean, I know she loves Snapseed.
Oh yeah, I haven't used that.
Yeah, it's like I try to.
Is that the bundling one?
It's a little bit of editing. It does a lot of sort of, I would say, word swag. Kind of like text overlay.
Gotcha.
I'm sure she'll chime in more in the comments of like what more it can do. It's just it wasn't. It really didn't appeal to me, but But I'm also very
so many now that do that. I mean,
yeah,
and they're all they all have their own little like specialties, but overall they're kind of the same. So, were there any other comments? Because I can't see the comments.
Yeah, see, I see. Okay, Rebecca also actually asked, how much should we go live per week? It's like we got to kind of have to find that sweet spot. What is right amount, or what is too much?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would go more than once a week, honestly. Like, I don't know. I mean, unless you have a lot to talk about, I'm not sure that people have the time or the need to see you more than a week in a full live. Like if it's something like this, we're here for an hour. So I don't know that more than once a week is necessary unless you've got some kind of breaking news that you really want, your audience to see. But yeah, I wouldn't do a daily. Honestly, I wouldn't do a daily live. I think if someone started doing a daily live in my feed, I'd be kind of I feel like, okay, I don't need to see that much.
Yeah, because then you get the push notification that so and so has gone live, and it's just okay, Rebecca's chiming on Snapseed now because there's also, unfortunately, there's a 30-second delay, on some of this stuff. It's she's like, you can edit the photo, you can do overlay colors. Let's see. And see, Monica chimed in. It's like,
Ripple,
yeah, I love Ripple, especially now that you can do stories with it. I'd really love.
Yes, and I have, I had it, and now I just have the free version because it's like $10 a month, and so I wasn't using enough to justify the expense, so I got rid of it. But Monica makes gorgeous stories, and I'm assuming you do that through Ripple. So. So if you ever want to see Ripple in action on a story, go to Monica's stories because she does some really pretty ones.
Yeah, because that's the one question I always keep forgetting to ask Monica is, what do you use for? Because as I always see it, I'm like, I think it's Ripple, but I'm not sure because I'm like, okay, but how do I get my ripples to look like Monica's?
No, they're fabulous. They're very nice. Like I said, stories for me, I'm a lot more like fly by the seat of my pants. Monica, I will say, is excellent about like planning her content out and really making it all, look like it flows together. So
Yeah, she is a content producing machine. I mean, yeah, it's like I'm like, yeah, because that's something, I've actually, kind of backed off on my posting. I probably need, actually, probably the last week I was probably the most I've posted in a week, but I've been kind of averaging maybe 1 or 2 posts a week. But then I'm also using it as a case to show people you don't need to post every day, and it's like my engagement hasn't dropped.
Yeah, and I go in phases. When I have more time, I'll post more often, and then sometimes, I get really busy with my client work, and they're my priority versus my own business, just because they're the ones that are paying my bills. So if they've got a lot going on, they're getting the special treatment, and my account sometimes gets a little dusty.
I'll be looking at my content calendar. It's like I'll have things planned out, but then I'm like, I need to actually create things to go with what I have planned out, and I'm like, oh, well, that day just came and gone. I'm like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. Well, I've been lucky because I've had enough of things like this going on that I can promote them. But then I feel like, oh, now my feed's just like, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be there. And so I'm like, oh, I need to like provide some other content. So, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, because like today, actually I had one went out like 30 minutes before we started live. It was like, actually kind of, a little bit what we kind of talked a little bit earlier is what I call the Instagram ding dong ditch, especially, because, it's starting to see it more and more now that now that people can post with third-party tools. Is basically they're posting, but then they're not engaging back. It's basically, so I'm like, it's the Instagram ding dong ditch. It's, it's like, and basically people, you're breaking the #1 sin with Instagram. You need to engage.
Yeah. And that, I will say that was one benefit of not having the scheduling, is that, you have to post physically live at the time. So you're more apt to be engaging with people versus if it's scheduled 2 weeks out and you don't even remember that it went out, and, so yeah, but it does make life easier for me, for my clients.
Yeah, the only time it's annoying is because since you can only do square images and it's the only single image post. I'm like, but I got a video and it needs to go out at 3 a.m. How can I make this work?
I know. Well, what's interesting is, so the sprinkler that I use, because I couldn't do carousel posts scheduled, but through Sprinkler I can. So that was good for me, because on Fridays we do this thing with different hospitals, and they showcase all their like nurses that got kudos for the week. So I usually have to do, in Facebook I'll do a photo album, and on Instagram I'll do a carousel, but I couldn't ever schedule it out. So that was just an exciting little thing for me.
Yeah, that's a nice little discovery.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we're gonna make Monica cry, because she's like, I am going to cry happy tears, because apparently she loves our praise.
She deserves it. She does a good job, and she works really hard.
So it's like, okay, I guess cycle back a little bit. And these comments are coming out weird, and video live must be having a little bit of a glitch. Rebecca's like, kind of circling back to the live, because what she's doing, because she's actually she's running Social Media Day Houston. She's actually she runs the conference that's putting it on. Should I do one speaker a week? Honestly, I just wanted so planning as going live with speaker. But she was wanting to do going live with speakers, so maybe just do it once a week. She was wondering, Yeah,
if you've got enough time to.
Yeah, I'm trying to add up in my head of like how many weeks are left versus So was it June 30th?
Depending on how many you need to squeeze into the time, because I know it's coming up. But I think it would be nice to have a weekly show, and each week you feature one of the speakers for, however long, half hour. I think that'd be great, and just have it at a set time so people get used to like, oh, I'm going to, they can make it their learning session, like get a, little preview.
Yeah, because I'm like trying to do the math in my head, and since we're like, what, 8 weeks, I'll talk to you, Rebecca.
Yeah, I mean, you might have too many speakers, and you might
Yeah,
need
because
to
it's like
do.
there's 12 speakers, 12 speaking, 12 sessions. So I'm trying to do the math breakdown. So yeah, you might have to do twice a week, but maybe maybe like a Monday, Friday kind of thing or something, or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, if you're interviewing different people, it's probably that that's probably more doable versus just like one talking head for an hour a couple times a week. At least it's breaking it up with a new person. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so
plus,
if you need to squeeze in that extra,
yeah, and especially now that you can bring guests on Instagram Live, which is,
right? Yes.
but okay, so we got 5 minutes till, so I'm guessing that's probably it for the questions. So because we covered up all the pre ones, and then looks like we've answered all the ones in here. Monica just came in. My current challenge is getting that traction back on my posts. My stories do great, but then my posts, we need help with the hashtags.
Yeah, I mean,
There it goes.
overall, my engagement has been down. I mean, I think since they've done different things in terms of, they got rid of a lot of the bots that,
Yeah.
which I mean was just fake crap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it kind of makes your ego go, oh, I thought I was like a 200 like a day account, and now I'm like a 60 like a day account. So
Yeah,
that
especially-
happened, and there's
yeah.
always things changing behind the scenes that affect us. And I mean, I know you still get a lot of likes on your posts, but yeah, I mean, switching up hashtags is one thing. Again, looking at the analytics on the back end and seeing which posts are getting a lot of traction, and try and replicating a little bit more of those is going to help. But yeah, it's tough because Instagram is fickle, and it'll just change things, and you're all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like when you finally start figuring things out, then boom.
Yeah, then they change it. So.
But because that's one of the things I fight with people. Actually, I have fought a couple verbal fights, but like it's because they'll compare, say, like their Instagram account from January of last year to this year. I'm like, okay, but you got to remember, April 2017 is when they pretty much declared war on bots, and so that's when we all started seeing the drops. And about every quarter they do a change, and then you see a lower drop. It's basically so what we're seeing now is probably closer to what we probably should have been getting a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was a false sense of security or ego or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it is hard to go from high to low. But at least when you look at everyone else's accounts, it's the same. Everyone's experiencing it, so it's not a personal.
Yeah, because I was like, I can look at posts from January last year on my account. I was like, that post got like 189 likes, and now I'm getting about 40 or 50 on a good day.
I know, exactly. Yes, I feel it too.
Monica is like, the engagement is still awesome, so I'm not completely freaking here.
No, and she shouldn't. She's always got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, and Christina's like, could have just hit that plateau, and your audience gets used to the usual. I mean, it's basically sometimes you just have to shake things up, and take the old Etch-a-Sketch and shake it up and start over. In some ways, don't have to do a full reboot.
No, but sometimes it's just tweaking things. And say it again, go to the analytics.
Yep. And that's like one of the things I like with Agora Pulse is I can go into that analytics and I can see which hashtags are bringing in the most traffic, and so like so it's like okay, I can use that hashtag, but then maybe go ahead and toss that one, another one, or
Right. Yeah, and that's definitely one thing that the regular Instagram analytics they don't have that, and that is something. And I don't use Agora Pulse, and I don't currently use one that includes the hashtag component, but it's definitely worth looking into.
But okay, so I think that's like we can just a trail of comments. So let's go and start wrapping this up. Thank you, Corey, so much for being here and dropping all this knowledge. Once we I hit end broadcast and all that, then I'll drop the link for the book. Just, go out and buy it, people. Come on. Okay, I'm trying to match up the cam. It's like, I think this is the general vicinity.
Yes. No, you got it.
So, thank you for joining us. The live show, and if you're watching the replay, if you still have questions while watching the replay, drop them in the comments. We'll see them. Also, this is going to be loaded up onto YouTube later. And I have official YouTube channel now, so I'll be dropping a link for that as well. They said make sure this puppy's going out everywhere, so it'll be on Facebook page for the replay, YouTube, and then it'll also be on the chatgram section on my website. So this puppy will be everywhere for replay. So but still drop your if you have still questions, drop them in the comments. Also, don't forget to join the Chatgram Live Facebook group. So you can stay on top of what's happening with with Chatgram and in the Instagram world. I'm trying to get my professional voice going again. Get the latest news about Instagram, and you're always free to ask questions. Because there's a lot of updates going on, and basically you can ask. And so what does this mean for me? So this replay will be available on the Facebook page, the Chatgram Live section on the website, and the Watson KS YouTube channel. The next Chatgram Live will be Tuesday, January 5th, and this is the first Tuesday of the month, which means it's our monthly catch-up of what's been going on with Instagram. And we're May 15th, halfway in, and it's been a busy month so far. So tune in for that. And all right, peeps. Again, thank you Corey for being here, and
thank you for having me.
We'll be back in a few weeks.
All right. See ya. Bye, everybody.
And